What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing. What's good, boxing heads and fight fans around the world? So, Jesus Christ, where did I start? Put that joint on mute. Excuse me about that. Let's get into it, man. So, Dillian Whyte, yet again, lying per usual. I don't know what it is with these UK promoters, heavyweights. For the most part, I just say them. Guys like Eddie Hearn, Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Can't believe nothing that comes out their mouth. Really and truly. You cannot believe nothing that they say. So the man Dillian Whyte has been caught lying yet again. Jonathan Banks, trainer of Triple G, former trainer of Vladimir Klitschko, after Emmanuel Stewart passed away. Yeah. He confirmed on the Boxing Voice podcast that no Deontay Wilder never got KO'd and was on the ground twitching by Vladimir Klitschko, which really and truly, at that juncture of when they were sparring, ain't no shame in his game. Come on now. Vladimir Klitschko is a guy who's a knockout artist by all stretches of the imagination. You know what I mean? The man Vladimir Klitschko is, you know, one of the best heavyweights with the plenty of title defenses, you know what I mean, of the heavyweight title, you know what I'm saying? So there's no shame in your game if you get knocked out in sparring when you're basically, you know what I mean, a guy like Deontay Wilder at that stage of his career. Come on, man. Dr. Steelhammer got like 53 KOs in his career and 64 victories, you know what I mean? You check it. So, nah, man. There's no shame in this game, but that actually didn't happen. Jonathan Banks, like I said, former trainer of Vladimir Klitschko, he confirmed on the Boxing Voice that no, that never happened. He did confirm though that Wilder did get dropped. Okay, so it's Dillian Whyte who started these rumors, and Eddie Hearn lackey and lapdog is Johnny Nelson over there on Sky Sports. You know what I mean? I don't like that guy. Never did. I ain't even like him as a fighter. I remember them fellas. What's that man's name? Charlie Brown boxing, man. Charlie Brown boxing. He went in on the man Johnny Nelson. You know what I mean? He made a video about him that just was ugh. It was bone crushing. You know what I mean? It's the type of video that if Johnny Nelson heard the video, there's only two things that he can do about it. And everybody else that he flamed up when Charlie Brown made those videos. You know what I mean? Only two things a man can do when you hear such, uh, vulgar and vile language, and just basically a man just tearing you apart, tearing you a new one. Two things a man can do. He can check himself in the mirror and ask really and truly, is this really true about me? Is that how people perceive me? Is that what I'm really about? Is that the type of energy that I put out there when I speak, when I, from basically my opinions and my trains of thought? There's that aspect a man could look at, and the other aspect is I'm just even gonna be a bigger a hole. You know what I mean? Oh, they think I'm this that. They think that I'm an Uncle Tom. They think that I'm Eddie Hearn's lackey or Sky Sports. I'm gonna turn up. I'm gonna do it 20 times more, times 20. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the route that the man Johnny Nelson took. You know what I'm saying? This guy's not objective at all. You know what I'm saying? The man be swinging off the man Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn's Bozak. You know what I mean? It's real disgusting. You know what I'm saying? The man had a WBO title in his career, numerous title defenses, but unfortunately for him, and it's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. At the time he was the WBO champion, that title was not recognized, man. I'm sorry, man. You wasn't competing with the Marmex and the O'Neal Bells. You know what I'm saying? Or the even Vasily Girov. You were not there. Where were you? You was fighting old dudes. I thought the man Johnny Nelson Look for a guy from the Dominic Engel gym, um, that wanker banker, whatever they call it, from up there in Sheffield, where Prince Nassim and guys like Kel Brook and them came from. Yeah, unfortunately, it's Johnny Nelson, man, you're just not of that caliber. You know what I mean? And it shows. Like I said, there was numerous guys for him to fight out there. He was content on beating an old, what's his name? Not Tony Thompson. What's the guy who Carl Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of guys he was content on fighting. You know what I mean? When there were live players at the cruiserweight division. But that's neither here nor there. We talking about him lying. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put out that false narrative that Deontay Wilder got KO'd by Dr. Steelhammer in sparring. And like I said, Dr. Steelhammer is that dude. You know what I mean? I personally didn't quite believe in him. I'm gonna keep it tall with y'all. I thought at any moment he could be KO'd. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. I'd seen it happen before, and I wasn't sold on the guy. You know what I mean? It's funny how a lot of people, all of a sudden, especially the British Anthony Joshua fans, I remember y'all. I remember how you guys used to talk about Dr. Steelhammer. Yeah, you would talk about him just like everybody else. You know what I mean? You know, but it's funny after Anthony Joshua beat him, he gets all this credit. Oh, Dr. Steelhammer, one of the best of all time. He was, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the best of his era, which there's no denying he was. There wasn't no denying that. But you guys wasn't talking all that lovey-dovey love for Vladimir Klitschko, you know what I mean? I got no problem with the guy. It's just the fact that I didn't believe in his chin, and I didn't believe in his heart like that. You know what I mean? And it's not because I was picking on the guy. The guy actually showed from the Ross Purity fights to what's that fight, man? He got dropped by Corey Saunders. You know what I mean? When you see guys who are not even on your level doing that to you, something sort of similar to Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, then there'll always be doubt. You know what I mean? There'll always be doubt casted upon you, and always will be. It's gonna be hard to believe in a fighter like that because you already know at any given moment this guy can get knocked out. And that's how I felt about the man Vladimir Klitschko. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I did pick him to beat Tyson Fury. At that point in time, he was on a roll. He hadn't lost in like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And, it was only a matter of time. I didn't think it would have been Tyson Fury. I'm not going to lie. But he put on a masterpiece out there. You know what I'm saying? But a masterclass boxing lesson. But at the end of the day, this Johnny Nelson guy and Dillian Whyte, they in cahoots. You know what I mean? I haven't heard much from the other guy. What's the guy from England's name? Uh, Spencer Fearon. Haven't heard much from him. He's a guy I do like. I do respect his opinion. He's a cool brother, you know what I mean? But Johnny Nelson, oh, hell nah, cuz. Hell nah. Why them fellas ain't put his name in the pot even to fight guys like old Virgil Hill? He ain't fight no James Tonys, O'Neal Bells, Jean Mac Mormac. I don't even think he fought Wayne Braitworth. I don't think he did. Wayne Braitworth was a WBC champ for like 3 years. But he fought Guillermo Jones, and Guillermo Jones did fight Wayne Braitworth, and I thought that Guillermo Jones won that fight. You know what I mean? I did. I had Guillermo Jones beating Johnny Nelson. I also had Carlos De Leon beating Johnny Nelson. Johnny Nelson is a guy who just is a AJ protector. You know what I mean? Only thing he's not active. That's basically what the guy Tony Bellew does too. You know what I mean? Always want to jump in Wilder business, but you cornballs ain't even trying to step in the ring with the man. That's why I respect Carl Froch over there on Sky Sports. He don't be dangling on the man AJ's Bozak. You know what I mean? He's not with that. He speaks his mind. If he's wrong, so be it. He probably has doubts, just like a whole lot of people do, about Anthony Joshua. I seen the man Oscar De La Hoya. They were asking him about the best heavyweights on the planet. He had Tyson Fury and Wilder as one and two. He started talking about other heavyweights. Then they asked him about Anthony Joshua. He was like, oh shit, I don't know if it was true or not, whether that was his actual, whether he was actually forgot that Anthony Joshua existed. But he was like, oh shoot, man, I forgot. Oh, how could I forget? Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I like Anthony Joshua. But he's kind of an afterthought, man, because this is USA, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And when your heavyweight fighter is fighting on an app, and trust me, believe you me, a lot of people didn't even get to see the rematch for Anthony Joshua. Now I do believe that it had probably one of the highest viewed events on the DAZN app, but we still don't know the numbers, which we'll never know. It's not like I'm not fishing for them, because if the DAZN was really proud of their numbers, believe me, they would have been put them out. But they said it was the most viewed event, if I'm not mistaken, on the zone. But I know a whole lot of people who are boxing fans who didn't even watch the fight. They didn't even watch the fight. They wasn't tuned into their TVs, or excuse me, their tablets, phones, and apps and shit at what was it, at 3 p.m., 4 p.m. that Saturday. Nah, people had probably better things to do. Did they watch the replay? Probably not. They found out the results and they probably heard from everybody. It was a boring fight. Andy Ruiz ain't do nothing, ain't cut off the ring, man. Came in overweight. You know what I'm saying? But Dillian Whyte is a crowd chaser, man, to the highest degree. And this guy got no backbone, got no spine. We call him Mr. Caterpillar. How you gonna be making up rumors about a guy? Yes, you want to fight it. No, you ain't been no mandatory contenders for 600 plus days. Stop playing, man. Don't do that. You was a you was just the number one contender for a while, and you were given opportunities to fight in WBC heavyweight eliminators versus the likes of I'm sorry, Luis Ortiz, but you declined to get in the ring with these guys. You know what I mean? You elected to fight Derek Chisora twice, the Helleniuses, um, etc. You know what I mean? Oh, Joseph Parker coming off a loss to what's his name, to Anthony Joshua. But Johnny Nelson, I'm sorry, Dillian Whyte, he just stop that, man. You gotta just stop with the line, because like I said, Tyson Fury, you can't believe nothing that comes out of his mouth. Really can't. He's actually the biggest fraud in boxing. I like the guy's skill set. I like what he did in November of 2015, outboxing Vlad, Dr. Stillhammer, over there in Dusseldorf, Germany. But, you know, Tyson Fury, you can't believe nothing that comes out his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Look at the man Anthony Joshua talking about he wants to throw a curveball into the Wilder negotiations, whatever that means. Man, just stop speaking in cryptic phrases, my guy, and just say what you really want to do. But you already know he's not about that life, in my opinion. I don't think he's genuine. I don't. This is the same guy who talked about after I beat Ruiz, don't talk to me nothing about Wilder and Fury. I think he's trying to distract the man Deontay Wilder, in my personal opinion, because he would rather have Tyson Fury win that fight, because at least Tyson Fury can knock his head off his block. You know what I mean? Like the man Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury might outbox him, which I do believe he will. You know what I'm saying? I do believe a guy like Fury could outbox AJ for a 12 round duration. You know what I mean? And That's a UK massive fight. You know, a domestic fight. You know what I mean? Wilder is a fight the world wants. What Anthony Joshua wants would be to fight Tyson Fury. That's why he offered to help him spar to help him beat Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? I think that boy's slow a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, man. The Anthony Joshua. I think he's a little slow, man. I don't know. It's just something about him. Before the Anthony Joshua, I'm sorry, the Andy Ruiz fight, the first fight, Radio Raheem asked him, "So Anthony Joshua, who do you think's the best heavyweight, number one heavyweight in the world right now?" That man looked around, stalled for like 5 seconds, and says, "I don't know," and just started laughing. I was like, oh, "What do you mean?" And the way the man took a while to say, "I don't know," like, dude, why wouldn't you say you're the number one guy? You have three belts. And if anybody uh, disputes that, come see me. I'm located at such and such address, Wembley Stadium. Come get that work. No, we don't need to come to USA. We can do it right here in England. Yeah, 90,000. You come to USA and it's a nightmare in Gotham. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, and especially Eddie Hearn, can't believe nothing this guy says. He's a promoter. But he's not the only promoter you can't believe. Bob Arum the same way. Yeah, but you know what makes these people sad and mad? They can't say the same thing about Al Heyman. Guess why? You never even heard Al Heyman speak. Y'all fellas got an opinion and hate somebody so much that you never heard speak. Look at a guy like Suge Knight. Suge Knight was a former CEO and owner or part owner of Death Row. Okay, um, Suge Knight. Who told him to stay in the cut and not to stay in to just be a CEO behind the scenes? Who was it? Um, was it one of the founding fathers of Death Row? Is it Dick Griffin? I f- It's somebody influential. They told the guy stay low in the cut, just manage the business. You know what I mean, and stay out the limelight. But Suge Knight got a glimpse of stardom and so being a celebrity and be now he started going on magazine covers, okay, and speaking his mind. People can dissect his words. People can spin around and twist his words. You know what I mean? As far as the media, whatever. That was probably his downfall. You know what I mean? Unlike a guy like Al Heyman, who absolutely is not conducting. We're just talking about handling business. I know for a damn fact, and even though I don't know the man personally, but that man got too much money to be gang affiliated. Al Heyman, he ain't about that. Like the man Suge Knight wanted to be, running a corporate America business, but it's gang affiliated, gang related. You got Bloods in your camp, and you got Crips over there trying to coexist, which is good. Give them all jobs and everybody, but at the end of the day, there's gonna be tension, and that gang mentality is gonna, it's gonna arise. So Suge Knight just was always in the spotlight, while a man like Al Heyman is not. And these are two powerful music uh, execs at one point in time. You know what I mean? Especially Al Heyman, who's still doing the damn music thing. How do I know? I mean, I heard Drake on a song. Was it last year? Al Heyman checks up. Uh, what do you say? Al Heyman checks something. Other all of my events. Something, something, something. I get all my advances out. I own something about percents. You know, he was big enough to man Al Heyman. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's you know, Eddie Hearn be lying. Anthony Joshua be clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? Because I always look at it like this as far as the A side, man. The guy who holds the chips and the belts and who calls the shots. If fights don't get made, it's because this guy is not willing to take those risks. The A side, you know what I mean? You check it. When it came to Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, Floyd offered the man Manny Pacquiao $50 million flat fee, no pay per view percentages or nothing. Manny Pacquiao's a smart guy to decline the fight. You know what I mean? I personally think that both of them were both playing hardball in the beginning, and it was going to be their biggest paydays of their career, but also going to be their biggest risks. You know what I mean? Especially for a guy like Floyd Mayweather, whom I thought was, trying to be playing on an even playing field, do the drug testing and whatnot. But eventually, Manny Pacquiao agreed to everything, and still the fights wasn't getting made. The man Manny Pacquiao got knocked out, and he lost a dubious decision to Tim Bradley. So Floyd Mayweather was kind of chilly chill. The coast is clear with his kicked up his feet. You know what I mean? But still, and people thought, especially after Pacquiao got put to sleep by Juan Manuel Marquez, for the most part, the public perception was that fight is over. That's what I said immediately after that fight. I was like, man, that Floyd fight ain't happening, man. It's a wrap, man. But still, there was public demand. There was public demand. And Floyd Mayweather, as a man, walked over to Manny Pacquiao, walked across the basketball court at Miami Heat game, and went to talk to the man and said, let's meet up, let's exchange numbers, let's meet up later at your hotel room. And that's how the fight got made because they both wanted that fight by 2015. Anthony Joshua should also do the same. Don't be afraid to come to Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight, man. Show your face. Let the American public know you, man, because don't nobody know no man from England fighting on an app at 4 or 5 p.m. on a Saturday, man. No, man, this is USA, Jack. People take their weekends seriously. It's not like London, UK, where it's probably raining for the most of the year, where maybe people are indoors on a Saturday. Not here. Even if it's cold, people going outside. You know what I mean? They gonna go do something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what you call it? Sorry, one sec. I got an important text. I got it. All right. Sorry. Boy, man, gonna be busy today. Sorry about that, y'all. Gotta handle business, man. Got some paper calling for me, man. This young lady wants to buy an iPhone 11 from me, so trying to get that paper. But yeah, man, Dillian White, you can't be lying like that, man. And then you also there convincing people at the Sky Sports Studio that you have the WBC green belt. It's the same thing as Deontay Wilder's belt. And no, man, stop lying to these people, man. Your belt is made out of sterling silver. That's the difference. That's not green leather on your belt. That's that fake leather. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the name of it. Not pleather. There's actually a real name for that type of synthetic leather. You know what I mean? So, no, yours is not the real green belt. You didn't beat anybody to have a green belt or a real WBC title. So, look, man, you wide awake right now, but you must be in La La Land. But I can guarantee you when he fight Deontay Wilder, he's gonna be put to sleep for real. You know what I mean? And he'll go when he wakes up out that fantasy dream. You know what I mean? He still have that his sterling silver synthetic leather green belt. You know what I mean? Then he's gonna look at it in disgust because he knows he was frauding the whole time, just like Johnny Nelson, just like Dillian Whyte, Eddie Hearn, and Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if Anthony Joshua wants to fight Wilder, just walk up to the man, forget all that email stuff, and forget like Eddie Hearn trying to offer Charlo a fight, a fight on Instagram. You know, I've seen fights get made, but I ain't seeing get made on Instagram or social media. You know what I mean? You check it, so you could take what Eddie Hearn says with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? As far as offering him, him to come over to fight Charlo. So who's he supposed to be fighting? Or to fight Bubu Andrade? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm not too sure about that. You know what I mean? Because he need to send a man a legitimate contract, not nothing on Twitter. What's up with you, Brooklyn Child Boxing, man? What's up, bro? He's in the chat, so what's popping, my bro? All is good, man. Chilly chill, man. Just trying to knock out some videos before I handle some BI this morning. You heard? But yeah, man. Dillian Whyte, man. His lies have been exposed by Jonathan Banks from the Detroit. Man always got his Detroit Tigers hat on. You know? I respect even my guy Brooklyn Child Boxing, man. You know? That fella's out on the left coast. But he always be repping with his I think New York Yankees or is it Nets? Or or Brooklyn Nets or is it the Knicks? Represents with his city, you know what I mean? You check it. I live out here in DC, but I don't really have no Washington Nationals gear. I don't. They won the world title. That's well and fine. But I came from Boston before I moved down here, you know what I mean? So I can't just hop on the bandwagon, you know what I mean? So I still represent and wear my Boston B fitted. You know what I mean? In the wintertime. I don't wear snapbacks I'm sorry, fitteds in the winter, in the summertime, but that's neither here nor there. Jonathan Banks always got his Detroit hat, just like Tony Harrison. They represent their city everywhere they go. And he's actually the man, Jonathan Banks, who said he's the one who picked these guys, Sam Sexton, Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder, to be sparring partners for Vladimir Klitschko. He said he was in the ring when Wilder got dropped, but he didn't get knocked out and twitching on the ground. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that probably would have happened to Dillian Whyte. If it didn't happen, yeah, that's probably because the man was probably in a protective shell, you know what I'm saying? Covering up, not really trying to do anything of significance. That's why, hence, till this day, he's not a world champion. The man who did get dropped, that you tried to lie and say got knocked out, been the reigning WBC heavyweight champion of the world since January 2016, I believe. Or was it 2015? 2015, actually, yes. 2015, you know what I mean? So, March Boxing. Leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what y'all think about this fraud named Dillian Whyte lying, per usual, like most of the UK fighters at the top echelon, whether it be Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, etc. Be March Boxing. I'm gone. Peace.